the men's team makes more money.
Hey,
if they make more money, then they should get more money.
Why does the men's team?
The men's team makes more money because
why?
Because people are more interested in.
But guess who takes part of blame? I have a big issue with this, guys. They're not invested in as much.
You guys are.
They
I'm
don't
not
even
sexist.
have a. I know you're not, but they don't even have a shot.
I grew up the only boy in a family of all women. I understand what you're saying, but not everybody, honestly, has the same skill. To a sports bar, if there is a women's basketball game on, I'm just being honest.
Which is on air less.
People will say,
literally
can you flip it to the guys? I don't want to watch this. I'm just telling you.
All right, guys. So probably the most entertaining thing about CNN is not actually watching the network. Okay, nobody watches CNN to be entertained. I mean, nobody watches CNN to even be informed when they get the news, right? If you're watching CNN, most likely you're probably going to be misinformed, right? But in regards to entertainment, okay, the most entertaining thing about CNN, again, is not watching the network itself. It is actually watching the downfall of the network and reading about how week after week after week, it appears that CNN is collapsing, right? This network is imploding. And this is not an exaggeration. This is not hyperbole. All you got to do is just look at the ratings. And again, you can see that CNN, that network is collapsing, right? It is collapsing under the wake of its own wokeness. And the fact that Trump derangement syndrome is no longer a driver of viewership anymore, okay? CNN relied on Trump derangement syndrome during the Trump presidency in order to get viewers. Talking about Trump all day, all night, nothing but hating on Trump. And liberals in this country ate it up, okay? Now that Trump's out of office, and again, you know, you don't get as many views talking about Trump anymore, right? On both sides of the aisle, to be quite honest with you. CNN is, they've lost their way, right? They don't know how to recover, and that has resulted in the network suffering its worst rating week in 9 years. 9 years. Again, this is as the company is trying to you know, find a new direction, right? I keep trying to give the network some free advice, right, to help CNN become great again, right? And I'm like, look, go get you a Tucker Carlson, go get you a Greg Gutfeld. You should try to compete with Fox News. But no. They'd rather try to do things like get Bill Maher, okay? Like they're now airing episodes of Bill Maher on Friday night, okay, on CNN as a way to try to get people to actually watch the network. And I really don't think that what they're doing is working, right? I don't think that is going to work. And this is proof, okay? Because their ratings have basically plummeted, okay? And they continue to tank. So let's read this. Boy, the hits keep on coming for CNN's semi-new CEO, Chris Lynch. And we don't mean the network's line up. CNN just notched its lowest ratings in 9 years across all its day parts for the week of January 16th through January 22nd, 2023, according to Nielsen, averaging just 444,000 viewers in prime time, 93,000 in the all-important age 25 to 54 news demographic, and 417,000 in viewers and 80,000 in the demo for total day. It's the first time since May 2014 that the network failed to reach 450,000 viewers. Wow, that is sad. Yeah, that is sad. And not to toot my own horn, I believe that my YouTube channel on a daily basis in terms of viewership is probably more popular than a lot of these shows on CNN, okay? And my YouTube channel is not on every cable TV lineup like CNN, okay? Which again, it's a damn shame. It really is a shame that CNN is doing this badly, okay? And that includes shows like Don Lemon's new show, CNN This Morning, which I did a video about probably about a week ago, as reports have come out that the ratings for that show have steadily declined since it debuted. Again, the debut was already terrible, and the ratings are even lower, okay? There's no doubt in my mind that I have more juice than Don Lemon, okay? Which, again, is crazy to think about. It really is. Don Lemon, his show is imploding, okay? Not just in the ratings, but also apparently on set. Things are falling apart as well, too. There's a whole lot of drama as Don Lemon allegedly screamed at his CNN This Morning co-host, and that has left the crew rattled, okay? Left the crew rattled. And I believe that stories like this, along with the ratings being in the tank, are a key indication that Don Lemon's days at CNN is probably numbered. Okay, I think this guy is going to be fired here soon. Okay, I get Don Lemon a year, especially after reading a story like this. So let's read about it, because there's some drama in Wonderland here. So let's read here. Tensions on the set of CNN this morning have recently boiled over, with Don Lemon allegedly screaming at co-host Kaitlan Collins off camera during an ugly December incident that has left the cast and crew rattled ever since, the Post has learned. According to two sources with knowledge of the situation, 56-year-old Lemon approached 30-year-old Collins following the show's Thursday December 8 broadcast and unloaded on her in front of staffers as he accused her of interrupting him on air. Quote, Don screamed at Kaitlan. He was visibly upset and ran out of the studio, one source with knowledge of the skirmish said. News of the explosive incident made its way up to CNN CEO Chris Lynch, who is said to have been appalled by Lemon's behavior, according to a source. A second source said a producer talked to Lemon at the behest of Lynch and told the anchor to take the next day off to cool off. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is Kaitlan Collins, the co-host that Don Lemon reportedly screamed at. He melted down on and ran out the studio. Okay. Again, I would have loved to seen that from Don Lemon. Okay, how zesty, right, that exchange was. But there's been some videos that have surfaced on the internet of the interruptions that she has been giving Don Lemon while he's been, trying to talk on air. And I'll play these clips real quick for you guys to get some idea of kind of what may have led up to Don Lemon having this meltdown on this woman. Take a look.
Well, guys. Frederick Pleiken joining us from Berlin with the news this morning. We are told that the swap happened at the Abu Dhabi airport and that she is on her way back to U.S. soil. Again, Brittany Griner, the WNBA star, released from Russian detention. We're standing by for the President of the United States.
It's been 10 months since she's been held in captivity.
8:30 this morning. The Worldwide Resources, Frederick Pleiken and others are on the ground there, and we're going to continue to follow.
Yeah, and I want to go to MJ Lee, who is live at the White House. MJ, I know President Biden just tweeted
Brittany Griner, the WNBA star who has been detained in Russia and was at a penal colony, faced 9 years there, has been released in a prison swap with Victor Bout, the Russian arms dealer. President Biden, as you see there on the right-hand side of your screen, you see President Biden expected to speak at the White House at any moment now.
And one
he
thing
was
to
briefed.
watch.
Stand by 1 second. Stand by 1 second.
Stand by 1 second.
He was briefed throughout the morning. It was awaited confirmation from Griner back in U.S. Custody. A U.S. official is telling. This is from our Phil Mattingly, our chief White House correspondent. Once that happened, Biden spoke with Griner from the Oval Office, with Griner's wife, Sherelle. Vice President Harris, as you saw, was on the phone there in those pictures. Secretary Blinken also on the call. That was per a second official, Secretary Blinken, as Kylie just alluded to, speaking about this over the weekend question on CBS very directly about Griner and whether or not there was some sort of prison swap in the works and that it could happen soon. Caitlin, did you want to weigh in?
No, I think we should bring in Jonathan Franks. He has been a critical player.
Yeah, so allegedly, those are a couple of the exchanges in which Don Lemon was cut off by his co-host, Kaitlan here, and that ticked Don off, right? Don didn't like that, okay, because allegedly Don believes that he's a one-man show, right? He doesn't like being interrupted, okay? Don has an ego, okay? And we're going to see some of that kind of play out here. The following night, the three co-hosts were slated to get drinks and arrive together at a White House Christmas party for the press, a source said. Okay, why in the hell is the White House throwing a Christmas party for the press? Again, that's everything wrong with the government and the media. Okay, they're supposed to be adversarial, okay, not best buddies, right? But this is what we have here. White House throwing a party for the press. But the pre-party gathering never happened after the emotional day, and they trickle into the bash separately. An insider with knowledge said after the party, Lemon had a late-night dinner with his agent, Jay Serez, according to sources. The situation was especially awkward because Collins, a rising star who had most recently served as CNN's youngest chief White House correspondent, is also represented by the powerful and well-connected Serez. While he dined with Lemon, Collins met with the show's other co-anchor, Poppy Harlow, the sources said. At this point, Kaitlan wants to be on set with Don as little as possible. A source with knowledge of the situation added, "It's messy." Okay, so apparently she don't want to be on set with Don anymore, right? She don't like Don. Okay, Don ticked her off. Don pissed her off. I would say Don should be careful about, catching a Me Too allegation, but he's gay. So, he doesn't have to worry about that. But then again, hey, who knows? Who knows? Neither Lemon nor Collins responded to requests for comments. A rep from CNN declined to comment on the incident, but said, quote, "In just 3 months, these anchors have created a compelling morning show that breaks news and drives the conversation." That's a lie. That is a 100% lie. Okay, that show is tanking. Nobody cares about this show. The December 8th blow up wasn't the first sign of trouble at CNN this morning since the show's November 1st launch. A week earlier, Lemon got into an awkward dispute with Collins and Harlow on air, arguing that the U.S. men's soccer team should get paid more than the women's team despite the men's relative lack of success at the World Cup. The dust-up made headlines with the Daily Beast quoting Lemon saying the men were more interested to watch, a comment that Lemon quickly walked back and insisted was a joke. Yeah, because he don't want to get flamed by the feminists on set. Now, here's the thing. Don Lemon probably said that for multiple reasons, right? I'm pretty sure Lemon loves to watch men, okay? They're probably more interested for him to watch for various reasons. The same reason he would probably prefer a male strip club over a female strip club or whatever. But is anybody surprised that a set featuring that much estrogen, right? Don Lemon and 2 women would be full of drama. Okay, I'm not surprised at all that this is what's happening behind the scenes. Okay, probably one of the reasons why the show is so bad. Late last month, Eric Hall, executive producer of CNN This Morning, was reportedly ousted from the helm of the show and moved to a new role at the 11 p.m. hour of CNN Tonight. CNN didn't comment on the move. Earlier this week, the network tapped former CBS producer Chris Russell to replace Hall. Collins and Lemon, meanwhile, have been on set together less frequently since the reported dust-up. Lemon was most recently sent to Memphis to quarterback coverage on the death of Tyree Nichols. Collins had been working remotely from Washington, D.C. on and off in January. A CNN rep said Collins has been on assignment as she also serves as the chief correspondent for the show, adding, quote, "The intent was always for the anchors to get out from behind the news desk, and they are doing an extraordinary job taking viewers inside the most important news stories of the day." To address tensions, a second source told the Post, quote, "Don has been given notes by the show's producers to not talk so much and to let other people talk." So the producers are telling Don, stop talking. You're talking too much, right? Quote, "Don's a bossy guy and difficult to work with. Even he would admit that he was a solo act before. He doesn't want to be in Destiny's Child." The source added, referring to the music group headlined by Beyonce in the early aughts. Well, I mean, Don Lemon is not Beyonce. He might think he's Beyonce, but he's not Beyonce. And I don't think that Don Lemon really has an organic audience, right? Of people that watch the show because it's Don Lemon, okay? The guy's clearly a failure. And I think that he's probably going to be on the way out, right? I think he's going to be on the way out. Others close to Lemon confirmed the former primetime anchor is not happy about sharing the limelight with Harlow and Collins. Don has an irretractable ego. A source close to both Lynch and Lemon said, "My understanding is that he wants the show to be about him. I don't know how you fix that. It's a very difficult situation where you fire him," right? That's how you fix it, because you've already tried the Don Lemon solo show experiment. It didn't work, right? Which is why he got demoted to a morning show. Lemon is about to get fired, right? Don Lemon is about to get fired, I'm telling you. A second source who has worked with big TV personalities, however, was inclined to cut Lemon some slack as he struggles to orient himself on a 3-person show. Quote, "It's never smooth sailing in the beginning," the source added. "They are all trying to get their sea legs." Yeah. So, yeah, I think we get the gist of what's going on here. This show is falling apart. It's an epic disaster, not just in the ratings, but also behind the scenes. Don Lemon is a prima donna, right? He's a drama queen. He wants the attention. He wants the spotlight. But unfortunately, Don ain't got the juice like that, right? He just ain't got the juice. And I think that he needs to come to terms with reality and maybe, I don't know, share the spotlight a little bit. Stop talking so much, right? If he wants to save his job. Because otherwise, I think that a guy who clearly is not easy to work with, and he's not bringing ratings and viewers to a struggling network, he's probably going to be on the chopping block if he doesn't change up his behavior, or at the very least start attracting some viewership sooner rather than later. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.